Hello, everyone. Thanks so much for joining me here today as we get to talk about one of my favorite subjects, comic books. My name is Jose. I love comic books. I love talking about them, and I love sharing them with you. Feel free to follow me in social media if you would like. Links are in the description below. I've also posted a link to the Marvel fan site that'll have plot synopsis and character bios for this issue. We're continuing our run of X Factor, and we are now at X Factor number 31 from 1988 by Louise and Walter Simonson with Bob Wiacek as the inker. We got Iceman in the corner box, and Infectia is still trying to kiss Iceman. Simonson doing the cover here, but we've got the Beast behind him looking monstrous, and we'll have to look inside to see what's up. Walter Simonson normally doesn't draw hot babes. He mostly does the muscular heroes, Thor. Even when he goes into the Fantastic Four, he's got Miss Marvel. He doesn't really do much with the Invisible Woman. He just normally babes is not a thing from Simonson like you would with, say, Jim Lee or J. Scott Campbell, Adam Hughes. We got lots of artists that draw the sexy woman, but very, very, very few. I think during Thor he had Lorelei and then Lady Sif, but Lady Sif wore armor most of the time, sort of like Big Barda. Let's see. I'm trying to think of he does X Factor. Even with Jean Grey, he doesn't really. No, he really doesn't. The Fantastic Four. He did Orion. He's got his own Thor series. Yeah. No, he doesn't do the hot babe. So Infectious is about the hottest babe he has drawn. Now, real quick here, a lot of marks are done in during this era between the 60s and maybe until the what I call the Jim Lee era. And the Jim Lee era is really when everyone starts drawing like Jim Lee and Todd McFarlane, but mostly Jim Lee throughout that mid 90s. Then there were dashes everywhere, but these were in particular used like for shadow on the knee, these hatching kind of things. So nowadays you wouldn't see these hatchings here, and here and here and here. You probably just see a line, but most of the time you wouldn't see all these dashes put in anymore. Although Walter Simonson still draws, so he still draws like this, but most of the new artists don't do that. So, all right, here we go. Kiss Off is our title. Infectia is still trying to kiss Iceman. And here we are seeing where this is just so clever. And then the moon rising or setting. We're not really told, but this panel is composed absolutely beautifully. Why Iceman is still in his ice, I have no idea. So here we have our credits. Louise Simonson writes. Walter Simonson is just the penciler. He doesn't even plot. I think he's only plotted one issue. Bob Wiacek is his inker. We basically have everybody else. Bob Harris, the future Marvel and DC editor-in-chief, and then Tom DeFalco, who will eventually go to just being a writer. He's going to have a very long run in Thor. And, oh my gosh, Spider-Girl. He has a huge, he really does do quite a lot of things. Tom DeFalco and Ron Frenz together make beautiful music. All right, but Boom Boom makes a boom. They go out. Iceman goes after her. Everyone is trying to stop them from kissing here. Here we have Leech. This is a great panel here. And so he's like, hey, isn't it past your bedtime? And he's like, it's past your bedtime too. Here goes Beast, who grabs Boom Boom. She says, "Hey, I wasn't trying to hurt him. I'm trying to keep him from kissing." And Beast agrees with her. He says, "I saw something too. Things aren't well." Here come all the kids. They're like, "Hey, we gotta stop her from kissing Iceman." We go back to Dallas, where we have Marvel Girl and Cyclops facing off against Freedom Force. Crimson Dynamo is holding a gun to her. And Marvel Girl says, "We came here for answers, Commando. Answers from Freedom Force." Sorry, Freedom Force. And Crimson Commando says, "You have the nerve, Marvel Girl, making demands when we have you at such a disadvantage." And she's like, "Well, pull the trigger if you can." And so you see Stonewall and Super Saber, and he actually tries, and it won't budge. But you can see Marvel Girl's telekinetics there, and so she goes, "I'm a very powerful telekinetic." And Cyclops says, "And I go armed," and he blasts the gun. And so she grabs Stonewall, and she's like, "We want answers. Tell us the location of Cyclops' missing son, or I will rip that information from you." And Stonewall's like, "What son? How would we know about his son?" He hits him on Super Saber. And Pyro uses his powers. He can manipulate flame. However, he doesn't create flame, so he needs his own thing to basically create the flame, and then he uses that to control here. And so Marvel Girl continues. Freedom Force was with the X-Men right up until they died. They were the last to see Madeline, Cyclops' wife, alive. And Cyclops destroys his thing so he can't draw flame anymore. And here comes Spiral, and she's like, "The red-headed whiner was his wife. It was Cyclops she begged to find her baby on national TV," as she goes after Marvel Girl. And you see she snatches her up. "Rich, very rich. The quiet men usually fall for Spitfires. What was he doing with her? You wondered that. You wondered that too, of course." And Marvel Girl again using her telekinetic to remove her knives. "What do you know about it? What do you know about anything?" she says. And so you can see Marvel Girl punches her. This is absolutely great panel here. Very nice. And you see Avalanche creating a wave of dirt, and the Blob's riding it. And he's like, "Say your prayer, Cyclops. Avalanche and me, we're going to bury you in a tidal wave of sand." And Cyclops says, "I've had enough of this childness. I ask one final time, where's my son?" Oh, this is pretty cool here. He is totally no very nonsense. Again, now we go back to New York. They are trying to kiss here. That is pretty cool. And so the kids are getting ready, and Richter uses his power. And he's like, "Oh gosh, Iceman, sorry, I was just practicing my powers like you guys always tell us." He's like, "At 2 in the morning, and maybe you should turn in Bobby. You're beginning to sound awful crabby." So now, real quick, it's 2 in the morning in New York. That means it's 1 hour behind in Dallas, so it's 1 in the morning. Yet the colorist is acting like this would be the middle of the day. So it would be 1 in the morning in Dallas. So, and even if it was the middle of summer, it is still dark in Texas at 1 in the morning. All right. So again, they go to another spot. They're still gonna kiss, and I like it. I wonder if they use the but they're very similar panels there. And she's gonna kiss him. Now comes Skid, who shares that, and because her force field kind of makes people slip, she falls down. And so, all right, they're gonna kiss, and then Rusty. And she's like, "We're gonna kiss," and then Artie creates the dinosaur, which is Simonson's favorite thing to draw. And so you can see the slap. He slaps himself. So she's gonna go to her room, and she's like, "Of course you could join me." And the ship closes the door, and he says, "Oh." The ship says, she says she wanted to sleep, but you should take a rest. So, all right. She kisses the ship, which of course, kind of affects him, and she says she's gonna enslave him, and of course he doesn't want that, and so he gets her bed, and you're gonna see what happens in the morning. So we are still in Omaha, where Nanny and Orphan Maker are here, and we saw Nanny last issue, but now we're seeing Orphan Maker, and picks up this gun, goes into this house. There's a baby here, and the parents, and blam 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 blam. We He kills the parents, and takes the kid, which hunts the name Orphan Maker. All right. And so early in the morning, it says here dawn. She wants out of the ship to get some alone time um with Iceman here, and so they have him rustle up a ship, and off they go. Back in Dallas, so they have been fighting Freedom Force for hours. So if you go by the timeline, they have just been continually fighting here for, so what would it be? So at least 10 hours they've been fighting. So all right. Um Here comes Cyclops, who takes the avalanche. So I can't believe we were still there, but anyway, maybe this is just another avalanche that they've just been at a stalemate. So he knocks it down, he falls down, and Cyclops says, "You still think this is a game?" By the way, I really like this. Dun, 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 as he bounces like a skip rock. Cyclops uses his optic blast and actually goes through the arm here. And look at the blob. "My arm, you hurt my arm," he yells. And so Cyclops goes, "I want answers. What did Madeline do with my son?" And so Destiny has had enough. He's like, "Enough of this. I'm beginning to," and then pauses, "a C. Madeline, I remember her. Bent around her, twisted, like around that one," meaning Jean Grey. "I can no longer perceive her or the X-Men. Their threads of their lives are broken." And she's like, "My baby's alive. I see. A tiny coffin, cold, so cold. Freezing mist, a vision." And then he goes, "No, it's real. It's real. Your son lives, but there are bars in the windows, and the threads of his futures are tangled in your past. And yours too, Marvel Girl. The same displacement of place and time subsumes your son." And she's like, "No, but wait, he isn't yours. It's time that's confusing me. She had no time, and you have all the time in the world. That woman said nothing about the child. I have told you all I can divine. Go now. Return to New York City. Your destiny lies there." And Cyclops is like, "My destiny is with my son." Yeah, that's why you abandoned them, Cyclops. If you have been following these videos since the beginning of X Factor, you will see that Cyclops is a jerk. He abandoned his wife, he abandoned his family so he could chase Jean Grey's little tail. All right, now the Infectia's home in Chicago. Sorry, am not. So we're in Worthington, and we are, I think, in the headquarters of the Right here, and they're looking at Warren Worthington, and they're kind of giving a synopsis, and they're like, "Oh my God, he's alive." And so we have Cameron Hodge here. This is all, everybody's in robes. That's just kind of funny. And so he says, "I'm expecting him. He's not expecting me." But you can see he's smiling, so he probably sees the camera there. So, all right. And we're going to be seeing that confrontation coming up very soon. We got Beast, who is just, if you remember, pestilence made it so that the stronger he gets, the dumber he gets, and he cannot get that back. They told him about her wanting to kiss um, Iceman, which why she didn't kiss him while they were on the airplane is beyond me. But hey, all right. So now Beast is going to go see if he can stop it. So he gets it, the ship gets him a an airplane. So down they go. So they arrive here in Chicago. These two haven't still not kissed. So that's on her now. And so she kind of gets him going. He's still in his costume and pushes him toward this mechanical contraption that she apparently had ready to go on her apartment with all these deep stairwells here and gets him trapped. I like the feet up look. However, he should be higher. So it here. Oh no, she is standing on something. He is lower. Okay, never mind. I was like, no, he should be higher as well, but never mind. She is on something here. So never the mind. And so she's gonna show him what her powers does because apparently she's had a poor hostage waiting. It's the mailman. And the poor guy's just been sitting there. She's gonna show him what her kiss does. And so he turns into this. And so he's like, why? And she says, your ship's too big and much too complex for me to do more than frighten. So I want to give it to me. You want that sorry. Let me start over. So I want you to give it to me. You want that too, don't you, Bobby darling? And so there's a crash. The beast has come thing. He looks like he has a mustache. I know that this is like from oh my gosh. I don't know what those things are called, but I know that they're showing the folds of the skin, but he looks like he's got a mustache. So the beast is gonna fight the postman here. Down they continue here. He's giving the postman thing. So Beast grabs him, and of course it's going to make him blow away. She's like, oh, I better kiss you fast because, hey, again, she had her chance. She's going to go kiss him, but the Beast is going to, I love the smooch, but the Beast actually gets in the way here, and the Beast kind of starts turning furry, which is going to be coming up here, and he yells out for Hank as she goes and runs away. Next, the Carbon Copy Avengers. So it's going to be a bit of a weird, the next issue. It's really a kind of like a fill-in issue. It's done by Steve Lytle, so it's very well drawn, but it's a little bit, I don't know. It almost feels like a fill-in issue. So, all right. So, X Factor number 31, Louise Simonson and Walter Simonson with Bob Wiacek. Like and subscribe, and I do thank you so much for listening. Goodbye.